Hey guys, I'm Boo, we're in New Jersey, and today we're going to talk about the Boulder Pod.
In the world where chargers are king, some are Android, and some are Lightning. And it can be very confusing.
But what's not confusing is USB. So I got this Boulder Pod vape system from my local vape shop. It was $15.99 plus tax. Another one of these cheap budget pod mods. The pods itself are $4 and change. So we're going to talk about that. But first, let's dive down into it and check it out. Yep, this is the Rock Vape Pen by Boulder. When I said USB connection, I mean to charge this thing. Literally, the bottom comes off and there's a USB connector right there. It's got the charging light on the front here, and it's got the switches right here. And you just pop out the tip here, the pod attached to the tip. And as you can see, it has a silica wick in it, which means if you wash this thing out, you can dry burn it and it won't burn the wick. It will just fry off any excess juice. So that's a plus. The one thing that I see here is that it has a plug on the bottom for refilling. In the center there's an air hole, and then this little plug just pops out if you have fingernails, which I don't have much of, but you can't lose that little tiny guy right there. You're gonna need that. So basically that's a direct line to your tank, right into your wick and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and juice this up with the flavor of the week. And it looks like we're just going to have to pour this in really slowly, because there's nowhere for the air to escape except for the hole for the airflow. Needle tip bottles work to fill this with. It's got a very skinny side to fill this, and there's a very small area to put a bottle into. Unfortunately, if you have like the tips or whatever, these kind of tips don't really work. So what I did was, I don't know if you could see it there, but I angled the tip and I cut it at a very steep angle to give it a little more surface area inside the bottle. And that'll help just to get the tip of your bottle into your pod. So I'm just gonna fill it slowly but surely. You can see it filling very slowly. You'll probably want to do this with a needle tip bottle, but I'm just going to go ahead and fill this sucker up with the regular bottle tip. Okay, so now that it is super full, I'm going to go ahead and pop this back inside, if I can get it in there right. Sorry for the shadows and blurriness here. As you can see, that's back in. We got a full pod. And as you can see on the inside there, there's the connectors there. There's actually a little space in there where the air will come through the side windows here. But these side windows are nice because you can still see the level of your juice. And it's clear on both sides. So 3 clicks to turn on. 1, 2, 3. It'll flash 3 times to tell you it's off. And 1, 2, 3. Flash 3 times to tell you it's on. Very easy. Let's take it up top and see how it vapes. Okay guys, so I'm going to take the first hit of this pod system. Very flavorful. For a silica wick, that's really flavorful. But I think it's because the silica wick is in direct contact all the way with the juice on the sides. It's a little bit hard to see. Those wicks are pretty far off to the sides. So that works out tremendously well. The inset button I really like because I won't accidentally click it in my pocket if I stick it in my pocket and I lean against something, which tends to happen often, and then I don't have to worry about it firing on its own. But then again, if I am going to stick it in my pocket, 3 clicks on, 3 clicks off, 1, 2, 3, and it'll flash to tell me it's off, and then even if I push it, it's not doing anything. And then 3 clicks turns it on, flashes again. Full flavor enjoyment. The flavor is very good in this. I'm very surprised. There's a lot of air though. There's a lot of air coming through this. The air seems to come through the windows, through the sides of the window. It's a bottom fed, so it's bottom fed airflow, and the airflow is coming in through these windows. So if you wanted to get like a real tight butthole flavor, I guess you could always hold the window or tape over it or something. Still tastes the same though, either way. If you like a tighter draw though, I would say put some tape over the windows. Leave a little bit of space, you know, on the top of the window or the bottom of the window for the air to come in through, and it'll be a tighter vape. And yes, if you want to charge it, the bottom just comes off like that. Unfortunately, you can't just like stick this on the top. Like, there's no mouthpiece cover, and that's kind of a downside to it, but I mean, it is what it is. This you're just gonna have to like stick in your pocket, but you've got a USB right here that you can plug into everybody has them laying around, those chargers for your phones, you know, or whatever devices you have, or even your computer or laptop. You can just plug it right in and it'll charge. And I'll show you what that looks like. So as you can see, I've got my little charger from my Apple phone here, and then I can just plug it right in. And when I plug it in, you'll see a light come on the side to let you know that it is charging. It'll flash a little bit and then it'll charge. And then when it's fully charged, the light will go out and then you can just unplug it. So guys, I've been vaping on this thing all day today with about 4 hours so far of chain vaping. One of the things I realized I did not like so much is that I thought this clear window through it, you know, both sides would be nice. The problem is that, I don't know if you could see it, but that airflow tube in the middle is kind of obstructing any view of the juice line. So it's very easy to run out of juice and not realize it. I'm not sure how long this battery is going to last, but I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, that is one of the cons aside from the airflow. So basically, let's get back to what I was talking about in the video. But I haven't told you the best thing about this pod system yet. So when it's finally empty and you're done with the whatever bottle of juice you're in, you can see that it's completely empty. Because it does have a silica wick, you can just wash it out. So at this point, I've rinsed it out. I've, you know, blown it through. I also rinsed through the drip tip to make sure that there's no trace of any extra juice or anything in there. And basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and dry fire this without even putting the little rubber stopper in. You might have to let it sit and dry, but I'm very impatient, so I'm just gonna, no cap or anything on it, I'm just gonna pop it in. And I'm just going to keep puffing on it until nothing comes out of it. As you can see, I'm vaping it. I'm pushing the button. I'm firing it, but it's dry. So there'll be no vapor, and you won't get any like burntness out of it. I know this isn't really going to focus all that well. If you can see inside it all, you can tell that it's you know, dried out. The wick is completely clean. So now I can add whatever juice I'm going to add to it and vape it. So guys, this pod system has been pretty good over the last week. I've been using it on and off, but it's given me about 5 to 6 hours of battery life in a day. For 350 milliamps, I'm a chain vapor, and so that's, you know, stretching it really. You could probably get maybe 5 hours total on it. You might get a little longer if you don't vape all that much in the day, if you're kind of busy with your hands and stuff. But I tend to vape like a chimney, so, you know, that's just how it is. Anyways, that's about all I got. So thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you want to see my flavor of the week video, you can click right over here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can click on my picture on the other side here. And that's about all I got, so thank you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Keep watching for more.